Wonderful. Alrighty. Welcome everyone to the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Ohio. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that's going to be Columbia College Chicago.
Hi, okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to pull up my presentation. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for joining all of us this evening. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about Columbia. For starters, my name is Kat Lewis. I'm one of the assistant directors of admissions. My information is located on the screen. I also have a QR code that will be active for quite a while after the event. I know many of you have signed up via StriveScan, but I also provided a QR code in case you want to connect with us directly. I want to start off by just giving you a little bit of an idea, kind of like a graphic to break things down a little bit. We are more of an urban campus, but a lot of students get intimidated and think that we're spread across the city of Chicago and it's hard to kind of get to your classes. We're only 1 mile long, actually, and about 3 blocks wide. And within that, we have about 19 buildings. So in comparison to a larger university such as Ohio State, we're just a small portion of Ohio State's 250 plus buildings. So that just kind of sets the scene a little bit to let you know that we are a little bit more of a smaller institution compared to some of the larger institutions. We really do focus in on innovation, artistic practice, and we merge that with business expertise at Columbia, which gives our students a lot of transferable skills when they're entering the market. So what is it like to be a Columbia student? You're surrounded by creativity 24/7. You're in a really collaborative network environment where we're really utilizing the city of Chicago at your disposal, and you're jumping into the industry ASAP. And what I mean by that is we are a liberal arts college, but we definitely want students to get into their major as soon as possible. So you're taking your liberal arts classes in conjunction with your major courses. We have close to 7,000 undergraduate students at Columbia. About 99% of the students do receive some sort of aid, whether that be through the federal government or scholarships through Columbia. 57% of our student body does identify as students of color. We have a diverse population on our campus, and our average class size is typically 18 and even smaller in your more major specific classes. Here's some of our majors and programs that we offer. We have about 100 plus. They're broken down into specific categories, the larger ones being media, performing, visual, and business art. If you see your major on here, great. If you don't, that definitely does not mean we don't have it. We have more information about our majors at colum.edu/majors. Feel free to check that out. A lot of times students want to know what really sets you apart from other institutions. One of the things that really does, I would say, is our stellar faculty. Our faculty members are producers, they're writers, they're illustrators, they're activists, and so on and so forth. They're doing so much in the industry themselves, as well as them having an education background. So our students get an opportunity to really create and learn, as well as get feedback from these industry professionals each and every day within the classroom. So let's talk about applying to Columbia briefly. We're test-free for admission as well as scholarship, completely test blind. We have a holistic review process. So we love to look at the whole student as opposed to a specific number. We're rolling admission, so that means we don't have any early action, early decision, or any hard deadlines, but more so priority deadlines during the admissions process. We have auditions and portfolios for our BFA, Bachelor of Fine Art, as well as Bachelor of Music programs. But if you're a BA student, Bachelor of Art, or a BS student, Bachelor of Science, you're not required to submit it, although you can submit it for additional scholarship consideration, which I'll talk about very briefly in my next slide. We do automatically review students for all of our internal merit-based scholarships once they submit an application to us. And we are members of the Common App, but we have our own application as well. Just briefly to let you know, there are three main areas that we award scholarships, and that's by you completing an admissions application that's attached to all of our merit scholarships, filling out a FAFSA for us, which we highly encourage, even though some students feel as though they don't want to. We have usually in the past guaranteed at least a minimum of a $1,000 scholarship, regardless of your need, for just sending in the FAFSA to us. I believe we're going to continue to do that this year. So we definitely want students to go ahead and get that into us. And then of course, we'll do an additional evaluation to hopefully offer you more than that. And then the third area is that portfolio submission that I mentioned. Even if you're not required to submit it, you can still submit one to us. And then you would be considered for the maximum amount of scholarships for any incoming student. 97% of our freshman students did receive an aid package of close to $26,000 last year. And then 96% of our transfer students received something close to $25,000. As I wrap up, I want to just let you know a small plug. There is a show that runs on Amazon Prime called The College Tour, and we had the privilege of being one of the colleges featured. So this past summer, they were on our campus, and they were really getting an in-depth look at our current students and what they're up to. Season 3 doesn't actually premiere until February on Amazon Prime, but if you go to our website, colum.edu/The College Tour, you'll actually get a chance to view our full episode now and get a lot of information. If you just go to our general website, we have it at the top of the marquee. So we're really proud of that episode and hoping that you all will take that in. Once again, I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to chat briefly about Columbia. My name is Kat. I am the direct Columbia representative for all students in the state of Ohio. So if you do have questions along the college process, I'm your girl. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. All right, now I'm going to pass it off to St. Mary's College.
I'm just going to share my screen, so just give me 1 second. Okay. Wonderful. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Claire McNamara, and I am one of the assistant directors here in our Office of Admissions at St. Mary's College. For those who don't know, St. Mary's College is located in South Bend, Indiana, but more specifically Notre Dame, Indiana. We are a women's liberal arts institution right across the street from the University of Notre Dame. As you can see in relation to Ohio, we are not too far away, of course, and we do have some wonderful admissions counselors who represent our Ohio state, Rachel and Michelle, who would be more than happy to answer any questions for you after this presentation. St. Mary's College is a Catholic institution. It was founded by the Sisters of the Holy Cross in 1844. We have about 1,600 students on campus, 2/3 of which come from out of state. There are 40 different states and territories represented, 6 different countries within our student body, 22% are from underrepresented populations, and 29% of our student body is first-generation students. I think it's important to talk about these not only because our intimate classroom connections which you'll have with your professors, but also because we're very much about discussion-based class environments, because studies have shown that women especially thrive in a class environment where it's discussion-based. Speaking of our classes, we have very individualized experience here with your professors who are actually your advisors at St. Mary's College. The faculty-student ratio is about 9:1 with an average class size of 16. We have over 50 different academic programs to choose from, and you can major and minor. I have one student who's majoring in political science and minoring in 4 different things, including a minor at the University of Notre Dame. So there's a lot of possibilities there. And they also, most popular majors here are nursing. We're actually number 3 in the state of Indiana, top 25% nursing programs nationwide. Education, business, and the natural sciences, leading to possibly pre-health or pre-med. And our most unique degrees are a dual engineering degree with Notre Dame, speech language pathology program, And we also have lots of different master's programs by way of data science, autism studies, pathology, and a doctorate degree in nursing itself. The women's college aspect is something that our students really do love. I know a lot of students looking in St. Mary's are like, I'm not quite sure. But my students have told me, I'm in charge of about 20 student ambassadors. They love the fact that they become women leaders because they see leadership not only in their professors, but also in their classmates. They find their voice as a woman in the classroom. They're not afraid to answer any questions. And they really do love the sisterhood that they find at St. Mary's College itself. And also, in general, what students do love too is that you can have the intimate all-women's classroom experience, knowing your professor, having really close friendships that are like sisters, but you also have the University of Notre Dame across the street and Holy Cross College next door to create this tri-campus community. So if you want a co-ed experience outside of the classroom, you can still have that. So there's a lot of opportunities with that. Students between the 3 campuses can actually join over 510 clubs and organizations. 50 of those are on our own campus at St. Mary's College. We have campus ministry opportunities as part of our faith and spirituality. As a Catholic institution, we have lots to offer in that regard, but also if you don't identify as Catholic, that's okay. There's so much more that our campus ministry does to make sure that everybody's having a good interfaith dialogue and has a point of contact between faith and reason. There's lots of service opportunities. 80% of our students are involved in service at some point. We have 8 different Division III athletic teams. We're part of the MIAA, the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association, in addition to numerous intramurals and club sports. And we also have study abroad. There are 38 different programs in nearly 20 different countries that you can go to. Most popular are Ireland, Italy, and Spain. But you can also do medical practicums. We have spring breaks, summer breaks, fall breaks, a whole year programs, semester programs. So students really do take advantage of that, with about 50% of our students at some point studying abroad. The results are that 93% of our recent grads are employed or in grad school within 1 year of graduation, due highly to the wonderful career fairs we have on our campus, as well as those that students attend at Notre Dame. And you can just see some of the great places our students have gone to. And this was very much helped by our wonderful Career Crossings office we have here on campus that can connect you with over 20,000 active alumni on campus, make sure that your resume is good to go, mock interviews are set, you're finding the right grad schools and applying to them properly, all that. Our admissions process, we have 2 ways to apply, both free on the Common Application. Our early decisions for students who are set on being a St. Mary's woman. The application deadline is November 15th with the deposit deadline of January 15th, and you get to pick your housing and your fall classes first. And for those who think St. Mary's is great, but they have some other options too that they're looking into, you can apply regular decision. As you can see, the deadlines there are February 15th for the application, deposits May 1st. Every student who comes to St. Mary's College receives a merit scholarship. Those range from $20,000 to $34,000 this year based off of GPA, class rank, and test scores, but we are test optional, so you do not have to attend test scores if you do not want to. The application is pretty simple. We just need the application itself, an official high school transcript, a personalized essay that's on the Common App. The test scores, if you decide to send those in, typically our range is between a 1070 and a 1290 for the SAT and a 23 to 29 for the ACT. And then, of course, we also would like a counselor recommendation letter, which usually comes with a secondary school report on the Common App. Please stay engaged with us. We have lots of on-campus tours, virtual presentations, chats, but also great events taking place on St. Mary's College campus this coming year. So stay in touch, stmarys.edu/visit. And that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Alrighty. And next up, we have Newman University.
Everyone, my name is Emily Larkin, and I'm an admissions counselor at Newman University in Wichita, Kansas. I actually am an alum of Newman as well, so I graduated back in 2020. I like to joke, if I can graduate in 2020, you can do anything. And so I was also student body president during my time at Newman, and I was also the editor-in-chief of our newspaper called The Vantage. Just a little bit more about Newman University. We are a small private Catholic liberal arts college. We have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you're definitely going to get that one-on-one interaction with your professors. They're going to know your name, they're going to know where you're from. If you have any cats or dogs at home, they're going to want to know their names too and see pictures. So it's definitely that tight-knit community. We have about 1,200 undergraduate students at our university, so you'll be able to connect with your peers and make friends. Along with that, we are located in Wichita, Kansas. Wichita is actually Kansas's largest city by population. And so with that, we are kind of a smaller school environment with those big school opportunities or the big city opportunities. So we're still able to focus on internships and shadowing opportunities while being able to connect with your professors in that small school setting. A little bit about what we're known for. Students that attend Newman have about 20% less college loan debt than the national average. And that was huge for me. I didn't have like a college fund or anything when I was looking to go to college. And we'll talk a little bit more about the financial aid picture here in a bit. Also, 71% of our students are employed in their field of study upon graduation. So when they walk across the stage versus the national average of 27, that's huge. I'm not just recruiting you to be a Newman student. Don't get me wrong, please come, it'll be great. But I'm recruiting you to be a Newman graduate who can go out and get a job in a field that you're passionate about. So you wake up every morning and you feel like you're transforming society like our mission says. A wide variety of our students will get jobs by March or April of their senior year. And so that's something to look at when you're looking at different colleges. We also have 40 plus different undergraduate majors. Some of our biggest majors are looking toward the healthcare setting, so biology pre-med, nursing and allied health, all of those things. We have one of two of the sonography programs that are 4-year in Kansas. And so if that's your thing, definitely check us out. We also have great education programs and also business and social work programs that are 5-year with your master's and your bachelor's together. So I'm actually in the business master's right now. So definitely check out those programs. Along with those, we have a variety of different others as well. We do have 11 pre-professional programs, with some of our biggest ones being pre-med, nursing and allied, or being pre-med, pre-vet, and pre-physical therapy and pre-law. So with the pre-law, one of my best friends just actually graduated from Newman and got a full ride to Notre Dame School of Law. So definitely some good stuff there, helping prepare you for those professional schools. When it looks towards acceptance, we are test optional. And so we've been that since 2019. So we only need your high school transcript for you to be accepted and get some of our more basic scholarships. We can talk about more of the other scholarships later. We also have rolling admissions. So I could accept you tomorrow. I could accept you the day before school. I recommend the first one. It's a little easier for both of us, but we will take you at any time. We also, the words private and Catholic can sometimes equate with expensive. We try to make that not so. Part of that is that our free application. So I'll share that application link in the chat. It only takes about 10 minutes to apply and it's free. 99% of our students receive some sort of financial assistance, whether it's in grants or scholarships. So looking at those scholarship amounts, based on your GPA, you can get anywhere from $10,000 to $16,000. If you have an ACT score and you want to submit it and it's in the higher bracket, we'll take whatever is higher. We also have what we call special scholarships. So we have two that are based on GPA and your ACT or SAT score, one for full tuition and one for $20,000. We also have a service-based scholarship. And then scholarships if you go to a Catholic school or if you're really involved in your parish. We also have scholarships for interests. So if you're interested in majoring in art, theater, minoring in music, or being in our honors program, you can get scholarships for all of those as well. We also have athletics. And so we're the only private NCAA Division II college in Kansas. So that means we can give you big academic and big athletic scholarships. We have 20 different athletic teams between men's and women's, and some that stand out are bowling and triathlon because they're a little unique. If you like athletics, but you're not looking to play, we also have intramural sports. One program we have is called Navigator. Something we really focus on with Navigator is getting an alumni mentor in your area of study. So someone you can connect with so say you're a nursing major in Chicago, or you're nursing, you want to go into nursing in Chicago. We'll find a person who's already doing nursing in Chicago, who's an alumni of Newman, who can help give you tips and tricks. They've already done the program, they've already taken all the tests, got the job, which is the big thing. And so they have networks and contacts that can help you get those jobs as well and expand the amount of opportunities that you'll have. One thing I'd recommend, no matter what university you go to, live on or off campus, no matter what your major is to get involved. One thing I really loved about my Newman experience is that I didn't have to be the girl that did student government or just the girl that did theater. I could do a wide variety of different things because I was in that smaller school setting. I was also able to do a wide variety of different internship opportunities within the marketing field, is what I want to go into. And so there's great opportunities there as well. I would recommend applying if you think that Newman could be the right fit for you, and I'll drop my information in the chat if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to pass it off to the Art Academy of Cincinnati.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm with the Art Academy of Cincinnati. I'm also an alumni of the school. I graduated in 2016 with a degree in art history and painting. So I can tell you all about my time as a student, but also all about the admissions process. So I'll let you know right away that we are going to be a 4-year program focusing on fine art, creative writing, and design. And with that, we are going to be a more petite size school with around 250 students. So you really get that one-on-one individualized attention that artists truly need. And with that, we have a class size ratio of about 8 students to 1 faculty member. Sometimes in your freshman or senior year, you'll have classes where you're all together learning the same things. But with that, you'll have 2 faculty members that really complement each other to really help you push and learn more about yourself too. And as you'll see here, this is going to show our majors and minors. And it may look like a petite list, but it's actually a very robust program. So we have a transdisciplinary way of teaching our students. So you can come in and being a sculpture major. You can take classes in creative writing, print media, photography, illustration, really anything you're interested in, you get to learn about. And we want you to really push the boundaries of what art even is. You know, really push the idea of how can I manipulate the idea of what a painting is or what a design is too. And so not only is it going to be very helpful for you to learn about everything and anything in your creative practice as an artist, but also it's going to be very helpful for resumes applying for internships or careers to say, I know how to use plaster, I know how to do InDesign, I know how to edit a short story as well. So also on this side, it'll show you how you're going to be spending your time at the Art Academy. So 2/3 of your time will be studio based, and that's going to be focusing on your major electives, but also you'll have time in there for studio art electives as well. So for example, some of those could be anything from experimental photography, garment design, web design, and so many more things. And then 1/3 of your time will be focused on liberal arts. And when you have these liberal arts courses, they're going to still be rooted in fine art, creative writing, or design in some way. So for example, I took zoology, and in that class, we had a gentleman from the Cincinnati Zoo come and teach us all about everything from cells to large animals. And the biggest project we had in that class was we had to keep a sketchbook about every animal we learned about, which was around 50 or 60 different types of animals. So it was really pretty fun to do that. But even your liberal arts courses or your art history courses as well, they'll be rooted in modern and contemporary practices. So you'll have some fun things like history of tattoo design, history of game design, and such. And the people you'll be learning from are going to be creatives, professionals in their field. So whether they're scientists, fine artists, designers, gallery curators, musicians, they're going to be people that you get to meet first day, freshman year, because we don't have TAs teaching our classes. We have full-time faculty meeting with you right away. And then with our facility, it's actually going to be just one building located in downtown Cincinnati. So with that, you don't have to worry about running around a large campus in the snow or the rain. You'll be able to really be in one building and focus your time there. And what's really great about our facility too is that each floor has its own major. So you could go to painting, which is on 4 North, sculpture is in the basement, and so on and so forth too. And then every senior and junior has an artist studio, and that's with you and 3 to 4 other people. And that's usually a group of best friends or people who work very well together. And that's your a large body of work independently, but it's also going to be your space to relax and reflect and have gallery meetings or really a lot of different ways of collaboration and communication within your studios too. However, if you're a freshman or sophomore, you might be wondering, well, where am I going to be if I don't have a studio? You're primarily going to be in the classroom, still working one-on-one with your faculty members. And then our dormitories are going to be apartment style. So they'll have a full kitchen, access to laundry, large windows, and they're actually going to be right across the street from the Art Academy. And since we are located in downtown Cincinnati, but more specifically the neighborhood of Over the Rhine, it's going to be an arts district. So you'll have access to art supply stores, grocery stores, cafes, restaurants. There's always going to be something fun to do, whether that be a food festival or a music festival. Cincinnati has a lot of fun things going on in it. We also have a very large, robust creative community. So whether that be with working with Procter & Gamble, Landor, to more smaller design firms or galleries, there's going to be opportunities for students to do internships, either in a fine arts sense, creative writing sense, or design sense too. And then for our application process, it's going to be an application on our website, Common App, or in person. We do ask for a self-reported GPA at the time you apply. Also, we do a portfolio review of 8 to 10 pieces of your strongest work, which you can do through our slide room, in person, or a virtual review. And then also final transcript. We also have a tuition promise. So the tuition you come in as a freshman will follow you until you're a senior. But most importantly, we also like to tell students that you have an entry scholarship, which is based off that portfolio. And that's anywhere from $8,000 to $16,000. And that is repeated all 4 years. We do have Scholastic Award scholarships as well as Governor's School. So in case you are part of those programs, check us out there. But yeah, in case you're wanting more information, click on this QR code on your phone. But we are having an open house on November 13th in case you're interested. But I really appreciate your time, and just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Oh, sorry, that's my timer.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Next, we have Michigan State University.
Okay, on the banks of the Red Cedar, there's a school that's known to all, and that's Michigan State University. Hi, my name is Iris Chen Van Buren. I'm the manager of recruitment for Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky for MSU. I'm also an alumna of MSU, so I have seen our campus evolve and grow over the years. The QR code is for the MSU admissions website. And so where are we located? In the state of Michigan, we use our hands as our map. So this is the Upper Peninsula, this is the Lower Peninsula. MSU is located in the center of the Lower Peninsula. We are a vibrant suburban college town and minutes away from the state capital. And a few hours from Detroit, Michigan, and the Great Lakes. MSU is about a 2 to 6 hour drive away from most of the state of Ohio. So campus is self-contained, like a city of almost 50,000 students. MSU is diverse. Our students come from Michigan, all 50 states, and 140 plus country. 27% are out-of-state or international students. We have a third highest number of students actually come from Ohio. We have 9,000 students of color and an active LGBTQIA2S plus community. And academically, 10% of our students are invited to the Honors College. MSU has 200 plus different majors and 100 plus minors in 17 degree granting colleges. We are the only school in the nation with 3 medical schools, so a DO, MD, and Vet Med program. With flat rate tuition at MSU, the students pay for 15 credits, and you can take 12 to 18 credits, making it easier to add a minor. Our most popular majors happen to be business, computer science, mechanical engineering, human biology, and kinesiology. Beginning in fall 2022, we also have a direct admit process for the Eli Broad College of Business. Most of our classes are 50 students or less, and our usual large lecture classes are now in hybrid format to keep our students safe and healthy. Our career service centers help MSU achieve a 94% job placement rate post-graduation. And with over 500,000 alumni worldwide, whenever you see a Spartan, make sure you greet them with "Go Green." Our Honors College offers curriculum flexibility for students who fall in the top 5% of their high school class with around a 32 ACT or 1420 SAT score. Students can also choose to apply test optional and be reviewed holistically. MSU students learn outside of our lecture halls by actively seeking internships or volunteer activities. All domestic out-of-state students do receive a presidential study abroad scholarship of $3,000 or $5,000. As a Big Ten research institution, students of any major have access to research in all areas, and some honors college students start their research as early as their first week on campus. MSU has several living learning communities geared towards specific majors. 3 programs are residential colleges on campus, and they include smaller learning environments where professors' offices and classrooms and classmates are all in the same residence hall. Residential colleges are first come, first served, and students should list them as their major. Lyman Briggs College is the only one limited to incoming freshmen who have an interest in math, sciences, and computer sciences. James Madison College is for students interested in social and international relations, political science, public policy, or pre-law. And the residential college in the arts and humanities is for students interested in fine and performing arts, literature, languages, cultures, history, and civic engagement. We have other living learning communities, which are major specific, including our first year engineering core experience, our residential business community, and RISE, the residential initiative on the study of the environment. We have lots of ways for students to connect with others. Every fall, we have Sparticipation, where students explore our 900+ student organizations. Spartan Remix showcases our multicultural organizations. Greek Life represents 13% of our students with 60+ chapters, including the African American Divine Nine, Latinx, Asian American, and multicultural sororities and fraternities. We also have academic, leadership, service, religious, arts, and social groups, and students can also form new organizations. In the arts, we have the Wharton Center for Performing Arts and the Broad Art Museum. And for those interested in athletics, Big Ten, Division I, club and intramural sports, we have lots to join or watch. Currently, our football team is 6-0, so go green, go white. Woo! So how do you become a Spartan? You want to make sure you apply by November 1st for maximum scholarship consideration. Think of Halloween as your deadline. You want a treat, not a trick. So apply by Halloween. You can use the MSU application, the Common App, or the Coalition application. This is a middle 50% of our fall 2021 class. 58% of our students applied this year as test optional. We are currently test optional for ACT and SAT for fall 2022 in the next 3 years. If you apply test optional, we will look at your application holistically without test scores. This will not affect scholarship or honors college consideration, but you have to indicate whether or not you want to be test optional with your application. And you can't change that once the application is submitted. Please feel free to use the COVID impact section or to include additional information for us to consider. Domestic out-of-state Ohio students who are admitted will receive a minimum of $10,000 a year for 4 years through our Ohio Spartan grant. This can go up significantly based on your grades and test scores and your overall application. This is stackable with other merit and honors college scholarships. Those who apply by November 1st get the most consideration. We also recommend submitting a FAFSA for additional scholarships and grant consideration. So please feel free to email me or use the QR code to set up a Zoom meeting to learn more about Michigan State University. If you email me, you will get a return email with additional links about MSU. Thank you and go green.
Awesome, thank you. Alrighty, I'm going to pass it off to Westminster College next.
I was muted there. All right, I think it's good now. Hi, I'm Jace. I'm an admissions counselor at Westminster College. Unfortunately, I do not have a nice slideshow like all the other presenters before me. So you'll have to be looking at my mug for the next 6 minutes. But all right, just to get started. Yeah, like I said, I'm from Westminster College, located about 6 minutes over the border of Ohio in Pennsylvania. We're about 25 minutes away from Youngstown, about an hour away or an hour and a half away from Cleveland in Pennsylvania. Westminster, just as an overview of the college, we are a small private liberal arts school. We have currently about 1,200 students, give or take about a dozen. Within that, The campus is 300 acres, but a majority of that is our college woods, where a lot of our STEM majors have a lot of their academic courses, such as environmental science, biology, even some chemistry classes go out into our college woods. But the farthest place you could live on one end of the campus to the farthest class you could have on the other end of the campus is only a 6-minute walk. Trust me, because I actually had to do that. I was a student at Westminster at one point in time. So going into academics, as I mentioned, we are a liberal arts college, which means you will be taking courses outside of your major, much like the other liberal arts classes within this presentation. The way academics are broken down, a third of that is going to be those liberal arts classes. Just to explain that what that means a little bit, there are about 7 different categories of classes you would need to take outside of your major, regardless of your major. For example, every student needs to take a science course. Every student needs to take a math course, a humanities and cultures, a visual and performing arts, such as a choir or an art course. So that's the first third of academics. The second third is going to be your core major courses. We have currently over 40 plus majors, undergraduate majors. That's not including our pre-professional programs, our graduate courses that we also have available to students. So that's going to be your second third of courses. You're going to be getting into those if you know your major in your first semester. If you have declared a major before going to Westminster, you're going to start off in those major courses your very first semester you walk in the doors of Westminster. So that's the first or the second third. Your last third is going to, you're going to have some wiggle room. Maybe you want to pick up a minor in this final third. Maybe you're not interested in pursuing a minor degree. You could just take fun elective courses to have a little breather while you're taking your other major courses that you're taking. So those are the academics at Westminster. So campus life now. We have over 80 clubs and organizations at Westminster. That includes our 22 varsity Division III schools. Division III does mean that there are no athletic scholarships available. You will find that at any Division III school, unfortunately. So 22 varsity athletic teams. That includes fraternity and sorority life. That includes honors groups that many of our majors have. That includes environmental groups, student government groups, and about 50 to 60 other ones that I'm forgetting to mention right now. But there is a lot to do on campus. There are groups that are hosting events every single day and every single week. There are some groups specifically designed just to have events for students to have throughout the week to take some time when they're not in doing their academics or studying. So those are clubs and organizations. I want to talk about the application process briefly. We have 3 different types of applicants. The first is early decision. That due date is November 1st. With that early decision applicant, it is a binding contract between the student and Westminster. It simply means that if you're accepted as an early decision student, you're expected to go to Westminster and withdraw your applications from every other school that you've applied to. The benefits about early decision, you're going to hear back about your acceptance in mid to late November, before December. So that's early decision. Then we have early action. Early action has a due date of November 15th. With this, it's not binding. So you can be accepted as an early action student and not be expected to go to that institution. You can still receive applications from other schools, acceptances, and then compare and contrast that way and make your decision based off of that. And then we also have rolling admissions, which has a due date of, I don't have an exact date, but it is March. For that one, you would just need to have a deposit in by May 1st. Every student that applies to Westminster and is accepted to Westminster receives a merit-based scholarship. We work on a 4.0 grading scale at Westminster. So if a student applies to us and does not have a 4.0, or doesn't work on that 4.0 scale, we will convert that to us. For that 4.0, that perfect score GPA, a student that applies to Westminster would receive a $30,000 a year scholarship. For the 2.5 GPA, we currently give out $16,000 a year. And then we have other scholarship ranges within there for every student. But every student that does apply to Westminster will receive that merit-based scholarship. I'm running out of time now, so I just want to say a few more things. Go to our website, westminster.edu. I'll also put that in the chat. That's going to have all the information you need about financial aid, about the application process, about different videos that all the different groups have going on the campus. Okay, and with that, thank you guys very much for attending.
Awesome, thanks so much. At this point in the session, I'm going to invite everyone back on screen. We're going to do a quick question and answer so you can hear from everybody one more time. Alrighty. So our question here, what advice would you give someone going through the search process? And I'm going to ask Columbia College Chicago to go first. Maybe she ran to the bathroom. Okay, St. Mary's College, do you want to talk about what advice you'd give?
Yes, I think really the main thing I'd say is to visit. Go to the events that the schools are hosting, the open houses, really get a feel for the lay of the land, and if you really see yourself there, because it does become your home away from home after a while.
Absolutely, thank you. Newman University, what would your advice be?
I would make a list of deal breakers that you have, like if it's a specific major that you're looking for, if you want a big school or a small school, what's really important to you, maybe those top 3 things. So when you're going to these college events and you're hearing from all these colleges, or you can go up to booths, you really know the questions that you can ask and the questions to ask, because you're not just going in blind.
Thank you so much. Okay, Art Academy of Cincinnati, what would your advice be?
I would definitely tell students, especially going to art school, really look at the portfolio requirements. Some schools look for 20 to 30 pieces. Some want you to do their own specific project. So it's really important for you to think about, what is it that you have already in your portfolio and what work you really need to create. So that way you're not really overly stressing about that too.
Thanks so much. Michigan State, what is your advice?
So one thing when students look at colleges and universities, they sometimes just look at the sticker price and the price of the place that they're looking at. I always tell students, don't be deterred by what you see as a sticker price, because often there's lots of scholarships, financial aid. Don't be afraid to contact your admissions folks to see, okay, are there more scholarships I might qualify for? There might be things that you don't know or are not aware of. In that vein, also make sure to do things like filling out your FAFSA, because that does help in terms of looking at students for scholarship, whether you feel like you're going to qualify for need-based scholarships or not. Some scholarships and grants are based on the FAFSA, so that's very important. So good luck.
Thank you. And Westminster College, what is your advice?
So I agree with some other people. Visit the campus, visit any campus you want to go to. A college could look great on their website, but you're not going to know truly if you could see yourself being there unless you actually go to the campus and see it for yourself. So advice that someone told to me before, walk to the middle of the quad on campus, or the middle of the campus, wherever that may be, and just close your eyes and see if you can envision yourself being here over the next 4 or 5 years of your college experience. And it worked for me. Hopefully it works for any other students that are going through this process.
Thank you so much. Columbia College Chicago, I'm not sure if you're back yet, if you wanted to share your advice. That's okay. No worries. I think we got some very good advice from everyone today. So I am going to wrap things up here. So a big thank you to all of our presenters for your time this evening and putting together all the information. It was great to listen to. Thank you to the participants for being with us this evening. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick survey. If you could fill that out with any feedback, we'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions. There's definitely another one after this. And then you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the others in case you missed them at strivescan.com/Ohio. And with that, we thank you for your time and have a wonderful evening.